People sometimes ask me why I think handmade textiles, especially hand-woven ones, are an important part of our worship experience. Recently, my Bible study group has been studying the first 5 books of the Bible, the Jewish Torah, and I want to share a Bible story with you. It's not a famous Bible story. In fact, most people skip right over it when they read the Bible. So Moses is up on the mountain with God, and he's been there for 40 days. That's when he gets the stone tablets with the 10 Commandments. That's a famous Bible story. But in addition, God gives Moses some very specific instructions on the construction of a place of worship for the Israelite people, the tabernacle. And it's not just going to be a place of worship. It's also going to be a central gathering place for the community. And that's a lesson that churches should take to heart today. This is where the story gets truly exciting if you're a weaver, because here we learn that God wants them to make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn with cherubim woven into them by a skilled worker. All of the curtains are to be the same size, 42 feet long, 6 feet wide. And even more detailed instructions are given for the construction of the priestly robes that Aaron the high priest will wear out of gold and blue and purple and scarlet yarn and fine linen. Now, the Israelites are camped in the desert at the foot of Mount Sinai. They aren't growing flax for linen here or indigo or madder to dye the yarn. No, these are some of the precious materials they smuggled out of Egypt. The finest linen threads the world has ever known, probably spun by the Israelites as slaves in the workshops of Egypt. A call is put out for donations, and the Bible tells us everyone who had blue, purple, or scarlet yarn or fine linen brought them. People are so generous, Moses finally had to tell them enough, stop. I like to think about the weavers who were selected for this task, the best and most skilled workers. How proud and yet how humbled they must have been, excited and overwhelmed. This was a massive undertaking. So if we think, for example, about the season of Lent, it is 40 days of penitence and preparation. 40 days that mirror the 40 days that Jesus spent fasting in the wilderness. 40 days that Moses spent on the mountain with God. And yes, where the Israelites wandered for 40 years in that same wilderness. For Lent, our priests and our pastors still wear purple vestments, and there's purple cloth on the altar, all hearkening back to the priestly robes of Aaron and the curtains of the tabernacle. When we incorporate textiles, especially handmade ones, into our worship experiences, we become part of a continuum of artists and craftsmen creating to the glory of God, going back thousands of years. And that's why I do this.